Here where our cut is. Paper mache on your face. Our sparkle. You guys, today we're gonna become a mermaid. Halloween's almost here, so I get super excited. And when Tickled Pink, an Airbrush makeup company, reached out to me the last few months, I was super excited to be able to use their Airbrush makeup and then create kind of this fun, romantic, mermaid-esque look. Yes, I'm 38 years old. I should not be dressing up as a mermaid, but I still wanted to, and so that's what I did. All right, let's get into this look. I'm super excited to do this. First off, I just want to point out that you might see some glitter on my eyes. My plan is to put on these glittery false lashes. I am horrible at doing strip lashes. Because of that, and because we're gonna be doing a lot of makeup, I decided to trim them up before we get a lot of face stuff on. So I just took them out of their package to see, and so that will fit that one. And I trimmed off the end because I wanted to make sure that the end of it didn't go past the edge of my eye. Like I wanted it to end basically there. I trimmed them first. So make sure you do that if you're choosing to do lashes and you're not an expert like me. And that is why I have glitter already on my face. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna prep our skin. Tickled Pink has this moisturizer that you can spray on. So we're gonna do that and then we're gonna prime. All right, so here is our airbrush gun. And if you are not familiar with airbrush makeup, which I was not until they reached out and sent it to me, then let's talk about our gun first. It is air powered, so it has a compressor, and this is its box. You put the product in this little like head and it like holds it, and then when you pull back on this, it lets in air that shoots through and lets down product, and so that's how you get the spray on your skin. You can control how much product comes out if you pull back super far, and so this is kind of your control. And then on the box you will have high, medium, and low, and that is the air pressure. You can control those and figure out what kind of application you want. My machine is plugged in, and here is the moisturizer. So they offer skincare also. I really love the idea of spraying on skincare, and so with this moisturizer, it does feel really good. So I'm just gonna put like 5 drops in because I wanna moisturize my neck and my face and just get everything like really hydrated. And then I'm gonna turn it on. And you can hear the air compressor. I'm gonna put it down to low, and then I'm just gonna spray it on my face. And so now our moisturizer is deposited on our skin, and then I just use the air to just blow on my skin and dry it in. So now we are moisturized, and I want to put on a good primer today. I'm going to be using the Veil Mineral Primer by Hourglass. It even has an SPF in it, which is great. I'm also gonna use this to prime my eyes. Oh my gosh, I have glitter like everywhere. Then the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start highlighting underneath my eyes. I love my primer from Smashbox, which is an under eye brightener. And then also I love my Sephora highlighter, which this one is called Bright Future. And then this one is an under eye primer, which is supposed to hydrate. I really want to help in this area, make sure that it's super hydrated. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger because it really does go a long way. And I don't like when tubes have this kind of applicator on them because I just feel like I use way too much. I'm just going to dab it in my under eye area and just kind of like pat it in. Try to make sure that this whole area is prepped and hydrated. And then the next thing is my bright eye. I'm just going to go here, and I'm just going to use my damp beauty sponge just to like pat it in. Okay, under eyes ready. This is something that is interesting, I think, for all of us. So with Tickled Pink, it's awesome that you get all these little droppers of color. So if you are a makeup artist, this is awesome because you're gonna have people with all different shades of skin tone. Nobody has the same color. They have lots of varieties on these, and then you could like throw in a darker color if somebody's just like in between shades, or if you have summer skin and you need to be a little bit darker in your foundation, and then in the winter and spring you're lighter. You can adjust it very easily with their kits. So I think that that's a great thing. But when these come, you're kind of like, okay, so which color do I put into my compressor? How do I start? I think the best thing is to look at the arrangement and then pick like 2. Be like, okay, these kind of look close to me. And then you're gonna shake them up And then you're going to take a drop, and I'm just going to put it on my neck and see if it like blends in. That one seems to look really good on my skin. Chai really is my color, but I'll show you what it looks like when I put cappuccino on my skin, which is darker, and you'll be able to see like, okay, see, that one's darker. So if, for instance, I wanted to be tanner, I could add some frappuccino into my chai, or if I wanted to just like warm it up a little bit, I could add this in, but it looks like to me chai is my color. They also have concealer colors, so if you wanted to do like a light concealing, if you had like spots on your face or something, you definitely could. One of the reasons this entire company exists is because Kathy, the owner, has a birthmark on her head and she was always trying to conceal it. And one of the things that's great about airbrushing is that once you put down your concealer, then you go over it with your foundation, nothing's ever touching it, right? You're not blending out your concealer when you start to put on your foundation, and that's what she loved about it. Their story is really incredible, the owners of this. They were both employees, like workers at a prison, and when they met and got married, they decided that one person should always be home, so they worked opposite schedules, and Kathy would go to work at midnight and come home at 8 a.m. every morning, and she was feeling like she was looking tired and old and aging faster, and she started looking at what celebrities were using, which was airbrush makeup. And so there wasn't a lot of products on the market for that at the time. She and her husband, while they were still working at the prison and raising 2 children, decided to launch Tickled Pink. And then in 2010, they got on Amazon, which really helped build their business and influence. And now both of them work full-time on Tickled Pink. So I think it's a really great entrepreneurial story. I think it is awesome that they really care about their customers. If for some reason you have an issue with your gun, your air compressor, they will walk you through how to clean it, how to fix it. If something's wrong with it, they will let you send it to them. They will clean it and fix it for you. If something needs to be replaced on it, they will replace it for you. They really back their device. And then on top of that, their skincare and their makeup is basically skincare. It's all based in aloe vera. It's super hydrating and it just looks really good on. And they're organ-based. Overall, what they're doing is really inspiring, and so I'm excited to be able to use their makeup today and share it with you. Now that we know chai is my color, let's put it into our air compressor and start covering our face and neck to get ready. It's really important while you do this to stay about 4 inches from your face so that you get a nice even spray and you don't get any like thick buildup, just like if you were spray painting. Then you can add a little bit more in and just do some buildup if there's areas that you want to cover more, or conceal, or just make more even. So now I have a little bit left of my chai, which is my foundation color, in here, but I want to start warming it up because I want to do like a bronzy look before we really get into adding on like the drama for the mermaid. There is this light bronzer color that she has, and I think it's great because I'm going to start adding it in, and now I'm going to be able to just start bronzing up my face. And now because I've mixed 2 colors, I'll show you how to combine them in your little holder. So if you put your finger over the air tip where it's blowing, it will mix the colors inside as you let in a little bit of air. And I'm still on low, and because I'm starting to put on like a bronze color, I'm gonna make sure that I stay away. I'm gonna start kind of like in the areas like on the side where it's really forgiving for bronzing. And now that I've only bronzed one side, I want to show you the difference really quick. So here's my kind of like bronzy side so far. And then here's like just my foundation, no bronzer yet. And the other thing that I love about bronzer is I love to put it into my eyes. Like I think it just gives like a very consistent continuity to the face. I'm not pulling back on my thing, but I'm going to put it up against my eyelid and you'll be able to see where the air is gonna hit. And this is gonna give you a good idea of where to place it. You can see like if I'm close up, that's where it's going to hit. And now I've bronzed both of my eyes really quickly with this. And I've used up pretty much all of it inside of its thing. I like just letting the air just run all over my face and just dry our makeup. It feels so good. For all intents and purposes, like for the mermaid look, I wouldn't necessarily put on a blush right now, but I'm gonna show you what this one looks like. It's called Pastel Pink Blush. And I like it because I think it had a shimmer in it, which I thought was really pretty. So we'll put that on our cheeks and then we'll start building up our mermaid makeup. Kind of have a little bit of bronzer and this pink left together, so I'm just gonna like throw it up in my eyes too. I think this is what's cool about airbrush makeup is you can really get that kind of like watercolor almost look because of how you can add on colors and mix them. Super excited to show you how I do the mermaid look, but I want to just make sure that you guys get a close-up of my skin before we move on. You guys, look at how gorgeous this finish is. It's so pretty and it feels so good. Like it feels very light. Like even look at my chest. I could throw on mascara right now and go out the door like if I didn't have a hairnet on and pajamas and was doing this. But I just want to show you that like this would be a great like kind of bronzy airbrushed natural makeup look, I think, in my opinion. But now let's get into the fun of making our mermaid look. First, we need to start making our scales and then layering on kind of our creepy exposed skin look. So to make our scales, you're gonna need a hot glue gun machine. Hot glue gun. And this is just my old one that I've had forever. And I forgot to turn it on, so it's not hot yet. It's not using, but we're gonna make dots along here when it's ready. All right, so you need like parchment paper laid down or something. Parchment paper is good because they flip off really easily. And you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna start making little dots. And yes, I know they have little string tails. I'm not concerned about that. You can make as many as you want. For our needs, I feel like this will be plenty. Once they're dry, you could paint them with craft paint before putting them on your face. And I've kind of wondered about that now. Tickled Pink sells cool colors that you could use on this. However, they do not attach to the glue dots, I realized the other day. So with that in mind, you will need to use a different form of makeup for coloring your dots. And it could be paint or it could be eyeliners, and that's what we're gonna be using. Before we start doing our crazy effects makeup, we need to powder this down. Now, typically I don't like to powder it down. I think that the airbrush makeup looks beautiful and dewy and glowy on its own, but for the kind of more theatrical makeup concept, we are gonna powder it down and then we're gonna start laying on our latex. For powdering it down, I'm just using like that really inexpensive, what is it called? Airspun.
Waiting just for somebody to love and to surround me and to handle my emotions.
just a nice little dusting. Today I'm going to do it like this so that we're on the cheekbone, so it kind of looks like a highlighter that's ripped in our skin, and I think that this will be a more attractive place to do it. Playing with liquid latex is awesome, but it ruins your brushes, so you need to like have disposable brushes, Q-tips. I even cut a beauty blender in half, anything that you are going to throw away because you're not going to be able to clean this stuff. With that also, it will stain your clothes, so don't get it on yourself. Further, I'm not a special effects specialist at all, so if I can do this, you can do this, because we are doing it with latex and toilet paper. And with that in mind, with the toilet paper, you need to get it really thin. So if you have 2-ply toilet paper at your house, the first thing is to peel them apart so that you have 2 layers. I'm going to cut them into like long rectangles. This one is thicker, and then these ones will be thinner to kind of like layer on top. We get it right here where our cut is. The latex is mixed up, shaken. I'm going to put some on my plate, and now we are going to put this right here. And then we lay down our first piece of tissue. And then I just like want to tear away kind of where the tissue didn't attach, like where I didn't put down glue. So there's our first piece, and now we're going to put on more latex on top of it. And I'm going to try to feather out now this latex so that it kind of goes beyond the toilet paper to help smooth out kind of this transition. Now, it's not going to be perfect, okay? You're basically doing paper mache on your face. There's going to be edges. It's not going to be super smooth. If you want something more like that, you could do like a molding wax and try to like get it smoother. And then we're going to use our airbrush to coat this all, and that will be awesome because the airbrush doesn't leave any strokes, so it's going to smooth out all this texture and make it look so much better. Now I'm going to take one of our thinner pieces and I'm going to bring it up here and kind of lay it down in the middle. Yeah, it already looks better, right? It's a highlighter. Yeah. The other thing that you should probably have on standby is a blow dryer, because you really want to dry in between layers, and I didn't really do a good job on that last layer. So I'm going to get my blow dryer and blow dry it. It's kind of hard to feather out the edge completely, especially with like a cheap sponge. You can see that I'm trying to, but like on areas where I'm like, okay, I know this is going to crease, so I'm making sure to not take the latex into the fold here. I'm like using it almost as a stopping line so that I don't go into it, because it could like crease and be weird looking. We're trying to do our best. Okay, we'll lay down one more layer of tissue and I think we'll be good to go. I got a strand of hair caught in my little thing. Now, you have to be super careful with latex. It will remove your hair. So like if you for some reason laid latex over your eyebrows and went to remove it, it would probably rip out your eyebrows. So just be super cautious about that. With that said too, I think the best thing to do is to like dermaplane your face before doing something like this. That way you have all the hair, the vellus hair, everything off. I did not do that, but I believe that's the best course. And with airbrush makeup, your skin will look flawless if you don't have any hair on it. All right, it is dry. We are gonna layer over our airbrush makeup now. I wanna blow this out because I wanna put on my foundation again. So you can turn it on and you just pick up a paper towel and you just like blow the rest out onto a paper towel. They even have like this cleaner. So I'm gonna just like throw my cleaner down into it just to show you how it works. But it's just a few drops. And you just put it in, blow through your machine and just get more of the pigment out. I could obviously go wash it out, but I'm not concerned about it. Now we're gonna put in our chai, which is my color. Really quick, I want to point out something. This has texture on it. And yesterday when I was practicing, I was like, oh, I'll put on a really inexpensive drugstore foundation first and then spray over it just to like give it this great airbrushed finished look. And what I noticed is when I put on the drugstore foundation, it really had a hard time getting into all the texture. And then I did the airbrush and it got in everywhere. So definitely, if you have a lot of texture in your skin, airbrushing could be really good for you. Here we go. And then I'm just gonna let the air kind of blow on it and dry it. Go over it again. I'm just gonna continue building it up. You need to make sure that this end piece is tight on. Mine came loose, and also it's got some buildup in it, so I'm gonna like clean it out and we'll be back. I'm just gonna run it through this thing. Our first kind of like layer of makeup has like sat on it and it's dry, and you can see that there is texture here. We're not gonna get away from this because I wasn't like very skilled at putting this down. If you're super skilled at latex, then you won't see anything. I'm gonna use some Frappuccino before we get into the bronzer, just to kind of like start building up some more color here, because you can see that my chai is like lighter. Now I feel like we can go in with our bronzer. Fingers crossed.
And it feels alright, but it's over now. Time keeps slipping with the skin next to mine, and your lips are confiding.
Okay, we might come back to the bronzer, but for right now, we're gonna put our browns away and kind of get into adding in kind of the purpley darker tones to kind of chisel out our face and bring in kind of this like blue purple concept that I have in my mind. Here's an example of these two colors. This bluer color, Purple Passion, but there is also Queen of the Night, and she's like more purpley, like more red, and Purple Passion is more blue. And then I still do have some bronzer inside my little guy. I'm gonna mix them a bit. I'm a little nervous. My idea is to kind of like chisel out and make it kind of like darker blue purple. Now that we kind of have our makeup kind of consistently coated and our special effects, now we're gonna start building kind of out our eyes and then chiseling around.
Keep thinking, was I wasting my time, letting you into my life?
So I think I did go a little bit low here for the overspray, but I can take my chai and go under here as a cleanup effort later on.
Was it a make-believe, something you never needed?
Let's just get our eyes a little bit of this dark kind of purple blue.
We go back, we go back, we go back, we collide. Losing track, even God knows I'm trying. Dangerous, selfish ways to love
You can pinpoint it if you get in close and just do like little first.
We go back, we go back, we go back, we're colliding. Losing track, even God.
Look at how sweet that looks though. When you're able to like airbrush your neck and chisel it out, that's gonna look really cool.
Something you never needed
Now I want to put more of this like a reddish purple in.
anymore.
I like this will be
We
pretty.
go back, we go back, we go back, we collide. Losing track, even God knows I'm trying. Dangerous, selfish ways to love you.
Look at how awesome this looks. Does it look cool? I think this is looking pretty good. Are we ready to cut this thing open and do our next funness? I'm just loving how this is looking. I know it's not done yet, but you guys like, oh, look at this. It's like so cool. When you layer on the colors, and I realize that this has now become mermaid makeup and not so much going out to the store makeup, but You can imagine when you layer in colors for doing like shadowing and contouring. I mean, look at the spray. It's just so pretty, you know? I don't know, I'm loving it. To me, it doesn't look heavy. That's what I like about it. I'm gonna throw the bronzer in just to help darken it up. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna let it dry for a minute, and then I'm gonna want to do some loose powder and set it, because I think that's gonna be important for this. And if you're wearing it out on a Halloween night, I think you're gonna wanna set your makeup. And again, I'm just gonna be using that same loose powder. Let's get back to our dots, our glue dots, and opening this all up and getting this look finished. All right, so here are our glue dots, and I'm just gonna cut them apart. And now we need to cut up our face. So you're gonna need like some sharp scissors like these, and you're gonna need some tweezers. I'm just going slowly and cutting it open. And now we're just gonna kind of like trim it open. You can kind of peel it back and like lift it. Make sure to not cut away too much. You can go back in, you'll be able to like trim up lots as we go through this, but I like the idea of being able to like push my scales up underneath the skin and kind of have the skin like bulging open. So you need to give yourself enough skin to be able to make that happen. Don't overcut away your skin. You can always trim it later. Gonna like scrape kind of underneath it. I think the best thing to do is to utilize the latex. It makes these things stick really well. You can use spirit gum or that kind of stuff. We need some liquid latex to put down. We just need a little bit because these dots aren't going to take very much. We're just going to get some latex on the back side of it. And for this, I'm just using Q-tips. Let's see, let's stick in our first one. Okay, so our first one is in, and then I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm just going to keep flipping over my little glue dots, taking my disposable Q-tip, putting some of the glue on it, not too much, and then just blowing on it. And I'm just going to continue stacking them underneath the skin. I don't want to stick one like in the center because that doesn't seem normal. I want to like try to get them up underneath the skin like this. We'll do one more together and then I'm going to finish this up and show you what I did afterwards. So there's 3. I'm going to build all the rest out. All right, so I'm back. I actually finished this. This is what it's looking like. These are the scales underneath my skin. Crazy, right? Looks super cool. And then I put on false lashes because I want to do more eye look, and you guys, I'm not good at false lashes, like at all. The fact that I actually did these, I'm like really proud of myself. I was almost not going to tell you I was going to try to do false lashes just in the event that I didn't do it. The reason I didn't film it is because I am not somebody who should show you how to put on lashes. I bought on Amazon a bunch of these different liquid eyeliners in different colors, and they even have like sparkle ones. So we're gonna use these to kind of like fill in our scales and color them. Now I noticed that Tickled Pink actually does sell all different kinds of, obviously, like colors of foundation, eyeshadows, but they also have glitters. I'm gonna pick up this like kind of purpley darker blue color. So you can like lift up the skin and just stick your little wand under here. And I'm just gonna start trying to give these guys some color. And I mean, you guys, this is artwork. Like, you can do it however you want. I just kind of think that this has been working well for me. The thing that really makes these pop is just by doing some different colors. So I'm gonna pick up this lighter blue and then just kind of like go on the tops of them. The thing I like about these eyeliners is that their brushes are small and you can work with the liquids wet, just like with paints. And so you can kind of like build up dimension by blending them and kind of giving just more interest to it than making it look so flat. I also have a purple, kind of like dig it down deeper. And now we're gonna take our sparkle and put it on top, and I feel like this is what really like makes it pop. It's cool, right? It just like sparkles and you can like see how it is and you can catch it in different ways of light. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing this. We're gonna get out some eyeshadow to kind of accentuate the eyes more and make it more poppy. And then we have some like other glitter to put on my face. All right, so I pulled out my Toddy Beauty palette. Obviously, these glitters are incredible, and she has a pink in here, so we're just gonna play with that and put it in our eye. I'm like horrible at blending, so I really love how the airbrush makeup kind of just like filters out. I think that's what is most beautiful about it. Fingers crossed I do not mess up my lashes. Working on our body language, baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. That looks pretty. She has the coordinating pink glitter. I mean, you guys, right? I mean, yeah. Pack that on top of it so that we just get a lot more intense shine going on, which I love. Oh, sparkles. Yes. Underneath, I took that same pink and put it on, and then I laid on the sparkles on top. And I also took one of my favorite lower lash mascaras and did my lower lashes. And this is what it looks like. And this is the reason I like it so much. It's because it's like tiny and it's like easy for me to get in here when I have super small eyes. I really can't see. I don't want to mess this up. What should we do next? Oh, we need to do my eyebrows. All right, I'm gonna do my brows really quick, and I'm gonna use the Maybelline Total Temptation. This is not my first pick. I like my Benefit one a little bit better because it's drier. I don't know where I put it, so we're gonna use this one. This one's not bad, and it's super affordable. This one's been done. This one hasn't yet. This isn't something that I typically like doing. I don't like making this art highlighted like this, but we're gonna do it for today's look. have this lip liner called Play by Gloss. Oh, this is a Glossier lip liner. So I'm gonna do this one. I have like a really cheap e.l.f. lip gloss to go over it. Those sparkle liners, I'm gonna use them too. Please tell me I'm... I think this was glue for, This is not lip gloss. This is glue for putting on... This is glue for putting on glitter. Awesome. All right, well, let's kind of... Do you see why I got confused? Except this one says e.l.f., but, you know, I grabbed it. Okay, wow. What's wrong with me? Okay. If you wanted to glue your lips together, you could put on glue for glitter. Maybe the glue will help really the lip gloss stick on. Yeah, those lips, these lips are awesome. The color, time for a wig. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I put on my swimsuit. I do have a mermaid tail. You'll see that in a minute. We've got my wig on, and I actually put a clip here to kind of, because it was like a side swept bang, but I wanted to make sure that you could like see what I did here. So now that's more in feature. I just think that it like looks really beautiful and fun, not like gory. Not that I'm opposed to gory, but I feel like this is really beautiful and I'm excited about wearing it. Anything else that I used in this video, I will link to below. Most of it, if not all of it, came from Amazon.
I can see through my feelings now. I can see clear through my mind. And the secret is to shut my eyes, to shut my eyes and see through my mind. I can see through my feelings now. I can see clear through my mind. And the secret is to shut my eyes, to shut my eyes and see through my mind. I stay alive because I feel ready now. I see